Hey, Candice here from Karuna Wellness. Something happened to me over the course of the winter in the last few months, and I'm ready to share my story with you. As a healer who resonates with the threads of authenticity and accessibility, I feel that I truly must walk the talk in terms of information or advice that I get through spirit with my clients' healing sessions or just in meditation on my own and channeling. And so I've had a few things happen and I've had time to unpack and integrate it. But this goes back to last winter. And it has totally deconstructed and reprogrammed or assisted me in that process. So I want to share that with you. And before I get into the details of this, this is not call for you to feel bad for me or to say, oh, wow, great job, I'm so proud of you. The intent of this video is for me to share my authentic and my personal story and what I took from it, in hopes that for some of you, this will resonate or mirror some things for you in your life, in your story. And I hope that you can take things from this that you can use as a stepping stone to help you on your journey. So, my first thing I'm going to talk about is I was channeling or getting information about stepping into community and really helping with community. And I was really getting that vibe from spirit that we are all as a collective being kind of not forced, but very heavily coerced into stepping more into community and not this divisive society that we live in. And in that, decided I wanted to help with the housing crisis here in my local region. There's a lot of people that don't have homes. I have a big, beautiful home that actually has a separate basement in it that I can use to rent out. So I was doing my therapies and my business out of that space with the occasional Airbnb. And so we put a whole new floor, did the whole whatever, got it all ready, fully furnished for whoever wanted to come in, because a lot of people can't afford that stuff. And we did some renovations in another part of my home, so I could still practice in a smaller space, but still, help the community and have an amazing family out here in nature and helping them have a space to live, and also garnering a passive income so I can continue to do the work that I love to do. And so fast forward a little bit, we find someone to rent the space out. Long story short, this person did not pay rent. They paid a little bit, I think like half a month's rent, asked for some money back because they're having a hard time. Christmas, and us being us, we shouldn't have, but we just said, sure, no problem, we know how it is. And then we only received a partial payment for the next month and then nothing at all. So I learned to navigate the eviction process. This person continually had stories about how nothing was ever their fault, and it was always somebody else's fault, and how they're fighting with different organizations or people for their rights, and they're feeling beaten down by the world. And not to say that this person was not experiencing those things, because that's not what I'm saying, but there was the narrative that they're always the victim, and they were embracing that narrative more so because they had just been put in a place where they were not able to see that they actually have the agency within them to cause change in their mindset and the life, the momentum around them, right? But they were so deep that it would take a lot of momentum to switch that back, and they were not capable or willing to do that at that time. So this person would continually tell me that they're going to move out, or they're going to pay me rent, or that they're so sorry, and continue. I didn't have the income coming in. My husband and I had made choices in our careers that based on this passive income we were going to have. We don't live on a lot of money, that we were, so anyways, these changes had happened, and so now we didn't have money coming in. So this really deconstructed and reprogrammed a few things for me, this whole process. The first big one was the financial. A lot of us are experiencing a financial reprogramming. The way the financial system works right now is not sufficient. It is not sustainable, and it is designed to entrap us in this constant, like a dog chasing its tail. You're always trying to get caught up. Oh man, I'm just up there, I can do it. Something happens in the economy or geopolitically, and oh, we're kind of back to square one, and that reset and repeat. And I've seen that in workplaces too, where you think, oh my gosh, things are going to be so much better. We've hired new people, and then the same patterns just play out in the culture. So this is happening on a collective scale. At this point, I'm still running my business when I can. It's winter. Where I live is very rural. A lot of people are unable or unwilling to access where I live, which is part of the reason why I'm moving. And there's other reasons too. So I didn't have a lot of income coming in. And a lot of people in my region are of lower financial income. So a lot of people, I barter, I trade, because I believe everybody has the right to access self-healing, period. And I stand by that, no matter what's happening. So through all of this, I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was touching people's lives, and I really stood true to my values, and not out of spite or out of ignorance or out of stubbornness, is what I'm trying to say. It was out of walking the talk, living through my passion to its fullest extent, because that's what we're here to do, because it was in the highest alignment with my soul path, and I'm able to help other people on their journey. But I went a little too far with this tenant I had in giving them space, because they abused the fact that I'm a giver, right? And oh my gosh, you're having a hard time. I know what it's like. Let me help you. And I learned that sometimes helping people is hindering. We have in our minds that, oh my gosh, I'm going to help somebody. That person has to be willing to meet you partway. They have to be willing to help themselves. And I've learned this in sessions as well, where someone will show up and be like, okay, Candice, heal me, do your thing. I'm not doing anything to them. I'm doing something with them. And they have to be willing to co-create that space with me in order for that healing to be accessed. And that pattern played outside of me. I projected it outside of me in my reality, because I create my reality. So however I'm mentally, that my thoughts are, and how I'm interpreting things creates my reality that I perceive as Candice. Anyways, this tenant, I ended up having to evict them. It was really hard to evict this person that I knew would maybe risk being homeless. They had 2 children. They were an alcoholic and a smoker. They were ruining my home, smoking right next to the window where my kids sleep. My kids couldn't sleep in their bedroom. Like a total invasion of my boundaries and my enjoyment of my home. And my home physically in my mind represents my mental state and my heart space. So my heart space, my mental state was being bulldozed over by somebody who thought they were hurting more than I was, and they couldn't see, or were unable or unwilling to see, how their actions were affecting other people around them, including myself. So their hurt and their mind was worse than mine. And I bought into that and allowed that to a point, which is unacceptable. I can feel some of you are like, oh my gosh, you idiot. Like, you're so stupid. You bleeding heart, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're right. I needed to learn that lesson. I had not learned that lesson yet, because I'm not perfect. I'm a healer, intuitive, whatever you want to call me, and I'm not perfect, and I will admit that. So learned that lesson the hard way. I had to go on payment plans for things, defer my mortgage for a few months. I was going to the food bank all through the winter and leaning on family and friends to help me out with some things. So a total deconstruction, reprogramming of the financial institution and aspects of finances and what abundance really means. Through this, I learned a few things. One, being self-accountable, really being accountable to myself. There was a point where I was like, how much do I reach out to other people? I don't want to be a burden on them. Maybe I should get a real job. What am I doing? How did I get my family in this situation? All the shame, all the guilt, layer it on thick. However, you can imagine, right? We all have these thoughts that when something happens in our lives. I was having those thoughts and those feelings. And then I realized, no, I saw my future, where I wanted to go and what I wanted to be and do, etc. And that's the path I chose. And I was going to stay on that. And part of staying on that path of self-accountability, it's not stupid. I wasn't being stubborn. It was allowing the momentum in my life to change. Okay, everything's frequency, vibration. If something's vibrating a certain way, if you just switch it really quick, it's really distorted and incoherent and really uncomfortable. And so for me, it had to play out over a few months. It was a condensed version of this changing of momentum. So there was a lot of discomfort, but the right amount that it got me thinking and doing the things I needed to do to keep me on task for what I wanted for my family and myself in the future. So I really learned to be accountable to myself, not only to my family and everyone, but to me. What do I need? What do I want? What is this doing to me? And we've been programmed that thinking that way is very selfish. It is selfish if you're doing it out of spite of someone, like, well, it's not my fucking problem, and you're really kind of pushing them out with like, throwing like daggers at them. No, it's like, I need to focus on me, putting my oxygen mask on first so that I can do what needs to be done. Everything else is going to fall into place after that, and trusting it. And that challenged a lot of my relationships with people, just how I give and receive, especially with them, and also allowing my husband and children to find their own dynamic, right? A little bit of martyrdom syndrome where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm needed for everything. No, I'm not. I can take a step back and let other people fill a role in so that I can continue on my journey and they get to continue on theirs. So sometimes when I was helping my family, thinking I had to do it all, I was actually hindering their growth. And so that's another, helping leads to hindering sometimes, not always. So using our discernment. And with this tenant, thinking I was helping, I was actually hindering them and myself. I was continuing the perpetuation of this cycle that this person's probably done many times to other people, and allowing them to walk all over me. So I really learned about being accountable to myself and being authentic with myself. Not lying to myself, going, oh, I'll just find the positive in this. That's not a healthy way to live. Sometimes things suck, and it's great to acknowledge that things are not going well and use that anger, that grief, that frustration, that sadness as a stepping stone and a catalyst for the change you need and want in your life. And myself, I know in my mind, I'll blame people. It's not my fault. It's them, or, the world, whatever it is, the tenant. No one's doing anything to me. All that's happening is I am seeing the projection of my consciousness outside of me. That's all I'm able to do. So some of you stay with me. If this isn't making sense, just stay with me. You'll get the gist of it. So it's all in my interpretation. So really sitting with these feelings and understanding how they can help me. So being angry and feeling shame and guilt alongside that was completely fine. But I allowed myself to feel those feelings, but I didn't wallow in them. I didn't dig a hole with them. I felt them truly and deeply. I screamed, I cried, I had really uncomfortable conversations, especially with the tenant, but I was authentic to what I needed in my life. And I learned that sometimes when I stand up and I set boundaries, I am not harming other people. Boundary setting is important. A lot of you know this and are not doing it, just like myself. I know a lot of things, but am I doing them in my life? Maybe not necessarily to the extent that I need to. And through a channeled session with one of my sisters, she was telling, this being was channeling through her, telling me to salt the leeches. Salt the leeches just because you're hurting them. Oh my gosh, the salt, it's burning them off. They're not allowed to suck the blood out of you. No, that's not okay. So it's redefining relationships with people. Just because society says you're this, that, the other thing, like for me, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a cousin, I'm an aunt, I'm a landlord, I'm all these things, pet owner, whatever it is. There's certain societal norms we have in North America and all over the world, but I live in North America, where, if you're this identity, you need to check all these boxes to be a good version of this identity, to be a good mother. You need to do certain things, And I realized, says who, right? Sometimes the check boxes we have next to these different identities or hats we wear are in total misalignment with who we are as individuals. It is not one size fits all. Just because you're someone's daughter or mother or wife or, opposite if you identify as male, it doesn't mean you are having to do certain things for certain people or have to tolerate certain things from certain people. Just because I'm a healer, it doesn't mean I allow people to walk all over me and, you're a healer, so you got to give me what I want because I'm hurting inside. No, that's not how it works. And I had to learn that. And I definitely learned that lesson through different experiences, but especially through this landlord-tenant experience. So I'm not harming others by setting boundaries. I'm actually elevating them and myself, creating a clear divide between where I start and end and where they start and end, so that they are able to see what they've got going on and properly reflect. I'm not muddling in with their shit, essentially, and vice versa with them to me. and learning to lean on community. I was going to the food bank to feed my family. And if you come and see my house, you would think, wow, she's got such a big, beautiful house. She must have so much money. No, I don't have a lot of money. And we live on a very limited budget. We go without a lot of things because we want to live out in the woods and have lots of space here, because I want to hold community events and bring people in here to gather and to be connected. And so I really learned to lean on community, and I felt like $1 million. I'd go to the food bank and I got treated with so much respect, so much kindness. I made so many friends through there that became clients of mine and friends of mine. And I'm learning to receive from people, because I'm always give, but I don't want to be inconvenienced. Someone else has always got it worse than me. My famous line, I love you, Dad, but you'd say, oh, there's kids in Africa that have it worse, right? So somehow that just stuck. It's funny what sticks with you as a kid. That stuck with me. So I've always thought, oh, someone's got it worse than me, so I need to shut up. So I was negating my feelings. And I know that was not my dad's intent when he was saying that. He was just like, just know, like, you've got it okay, but, people have it worse than you. But he didn't think it would stick like as deep as it did. So I'm realizing that, and I'm like, oh, no, like what I'm feeling is legitimate. That doesn't mean I need to whine like a baby and be like, oh, poor me, victim. No, it's going, oh, I'm feeling a thing or experiencing something, and acknowledging it and being authentic with myself, and then being accountable to myself to move through that and use that as a guiding beacon. That is information, that's data that I am being given in my physical experience that's helping my soul growth. Okay, I don't have to like it. I don't have to be happy about it. I don't have to be like, oh, I'm so filled with joy with all this trauma I'm having. No, it's about embracing it, so it doesn't mean like, oh my God, I love this, but embracing it and holding it and looking at it in its ugly little eye, or gooey, slimy, whatever it feels like, and using that to your or my advantage. So that's what I wanted to share. So I ended up going through the whole eviction process. It cost me lots of money that I didn't have. I was borrowing from people. I was able to pay them back finally. And this person finally left the property. And so cleaning the energy out of here and realizing maybe Candice isn't meant to be a landlord. I'm meant to help people in other ways. But I also learned that my community is here for me just as much as I am there for them. So from this, I hope you take the fact that if you want to do something and it feels in alignment with yourself, you can do it. Don't let the financial burden weigh on you. That is a big one for us here in North America, especially. That, oh my gosh, I need financial security. I have to check all these boxes to be a good little citizen and pay all my bills and whatever. No, you don't. Okay, so it doesn't mean like, oh, nothing matters. We all incarnate anyways. We'll just redo it in another life. And no, what I'm saying is commit to yourself. Be accountable and authentic with yourself. What is realistic? Go for that. And know that along the way, you are going to be challenged, because the universe is going to say, do you really want this? If you want this, you have to be really, really willing to change your mindset and your feelings, right? Your mindset and through your heart chakra. And once you can embody that in your heart, more of the things that come to you will be in better alignment. But until that point, it's kind of a mismatch, weird transitionary growth period. And we all go through those and go through them regularly. It's like, this is not going to be the last time I have something weird happen to me. And there's better or worse things that happen to people, and it's going to happen to all of us in different ways, shapes, and forms. But it's being able to see it, I guess, and identify it. So, and then knowing that you're worth it. Don't put people in front of yourself, right? And all the stuff I'm saying is things I need to hear for myself, okay, as well. So self-worth, you're worth it. I'm worth it. I can go do the thing I want to do, and I'm not hurting anybody. I can go and have a day off. I'm not hurting my family or my friends, having my alone time. I'm not hurting anybody by, doing my healing business and, taking up space in my house, my family's basement. I'm not hurting people by going to the food bank and asking for help. If anything, all of this has led to a deeper entrenchment in understanding society and makes me more relatable to people, because now I've had more experiences where when someone's sharing their story with me through a healing session, I can see them like, dude, girl, I've been there in a similar time, and I can better relate with them. I have a wider range of songs or harmonies I can play if we look at how the universe's vibrations. So all this shit that happens to you that is maybe not feeling so great, know that it does make you a more relatable person for other people. So usually if you're going through a lot of trauma and stuff, that means you are one of the better healers, intuitives, and people that others can rely on once you've kind of sorted yourself out, because you know what it's like and you've been there, done that, and you can identify with them. And once you shed that victimhood mentality, it totally flips everything on its head, and it's super empowering. So that's what I wanted to share. I know this is a long video. I'm making up, I guess, for last week. I didn't post a video because I have a lot of things going on here in my personal life that I needed to tend to. I didn't check any social media. I didn't check any emails. I'm getting my home ready to list and sell. I'm needing and wanting to spend time with my 2 little boys who love me very much. And I just had enough going on. There's only so many hours in a day, and I get this physical vessel for this lifetime, and I need to take care of it. And so again, setting that boundary and knowing that I'm going to be that much more helpful to people and myself by taking that breather. So I send you all so much love and light. I have a few other downloads and things that have come to me recently that I'll probably share in another video because they're not really related to this, but I really wanted to share my story with you that just recently happened, so that hopefully you can find a thread in this that you find relatable and that will help you. All right, Candice from Karuna Wellness. I am more than likely taking the rest of the summer off, so you may not be able to book with me for the remainder of the summer. I'm going to be spending more time with my family and getting ready to move. However, please feel free to message me or email me, and I will reach back out to you, and we can maybe arrange something either in the fall or something that around our schedules in an evening, weekend, during the day if I find a sitter sort of thing in the meantime. So we're going to go with the flow, and I look so forward to my new space. I don't even know what it's going to look like yet, but when I tune into it, it feels so good and peaceful and in harmony with everything that I envision. And thank you all for coming along on this journey with me. I love you all so much, and I wish you the most awesome day.